An alleged cult leader will now spend the rest of his life in prison after a jury found him guilty Friday on all counts, including rape. Elijah Bishop, also known as Nature Boy, was on trial for rape, false imprisonment, and 3 counts of sharing sexually explicit content on social media. Prosecutors say the crimes happened while he was a leader of a cult called Carbon Nation. Bishop spoke to the courtroom right after his sentencing once victims read their impact statements.
Is there anything else?
My heart light as a feather. I promise you I love you and I'm still here. I ain't miss one lick. I see what y'all doing and I want you to know I forgive you. And I see y'all in the end.
The DeKalb County judge issued the maximum sentence, sending Bishop to prison for life, plus 10 years without the possibility of parole.
All right. So y'all just remember that if, when you choose to have your try to treat brothers and sisters any old type of way, you don't have no brotherhood for brothers and sisters. You're going to jail for life. Anyway, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. I'm Officer 5000, Mataza Pa. We'll be holding down tonight's class. Tonight is the Brotherhood class, so if anybody has any questions pertaining to Brotherhood, then let's go ahead and get it, okay? Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Yaquar, Sharad Yaquar, Miss Coco the Don, Jayla Kazak, Eric Brewer. Shalom to y'all. All right. Or if there's anything that y'all want to bring out as far as any articles or some stuff that you've been reading, you know, that you want to share with the class, and you want us all to, you know, you want to put us all up on something that you've been reading or studying, you know, pertaining to Brotherhood, then go ahead and type it in. All right. All right. So the first scripture that I'm going to get, first thing that we have to do to understand anything is we have to fear the Lord, right? And that's a problem that we have, us as Black people and Hispanics. We don't fear the Lord because we're taught not to fear him. We're taught that he's somebody that we don't have to fear, right? Fear the judge, fear the police, fear all your oppressors, but don't fear the Lord. All right. So give me Proverbs 1 and 7. We'll start that there. And Lord allow, y'all remind me, man, I got this article that I got this from the Southern Poverty Law Center. Even y'all in the chat, man, somebody. Southern Poverty Law Center. I want to make sure I read this. All right. I want to make sure I read this for y'all. They you know, got Commander General Yohana all up in there. So why not read the words of Commander General Yohana? It's perfect in today's time. 1 and 7. I need some go ahead. You got it when you're ready.
Proverbs chapter 1 verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge.
The what?
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge.
You know why we're treated as if we're like dumb and stupid? You know, they try to tell us that we're inferior. They try to tell us that we're somehow closer to a monkey than a human. They called us subhuman, right? I was just reading what was Moses Maimonides in that book that he wrote. You know, he was a so-called, he was a little hat, and he wrote a book. And you know, if you yank my chain enough, I'll find the quote for you and the book. But in that book, he taught that Black people were subhuman. You know what subhuman means, right? Below human, right? Sub is below. Read that from the top.
Verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge.
Right. So it says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Because we don't fear the Lord, what does that tell you?
We don't still exists.
Right, but then we have no knowledge. Right, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. If you don't fear the Lord, then what? What is that telling you? That means you have no knowledge because you don't fear the Lord. And it's sad that the people that's in charge of black people, right? They don't even teach us to fear the Lord. They teach us, like I said, they teach us to fear everything else, but they don't teach us to fear the Lord. We be sitting in them damn stinking churches every Sunday. We in them churches every goddamn Sunday in their Bible study, all that kind of stuff. And they don't teach us to fear the Lord. And in return, we just keep being in the dark, right? Read on.
But fools despise wisdom and instruction.
What does that mean? Fools despise. What does the word despise mean? Can you look that up? Fools despise wisdom and instruction. You got it.
To despise, without looking it up, to reject, to dislike, a strong hatred.
Despise something, hate something, right? Dislike it. So what does it mean when it says fools despise wisdom and instruction? Right, they hate the, okay. This is where you get your wisdom. This is where you get your wisdom and your instructions, right? It instructs you on how to do things, how to serve the Most High, how to, conduct your high holy days, how we deal with each other, how we deal with, the other nations. That's where we get our instruction from. In return, it's wisdom as well. You see what I'm saying? Remember, it says the laws is our wisdom in the sight of the other nations. So this right here is our instruction and our wisdom. But if we don't fear the Lord, we'll never get that instruction and that wisdom, even though we may think that we do have it. A lot of these Negroes is smart dummies, educated dummies. Literally, I was on Facebook. That's young. Shout out to Nakar. Nakar came and got me out of hibernation, man. Nakar came and got me out of hibernation. He said that he be on Facebook and he be battling the little hats. So I was like, word? Oh, okay. You know what I mean? I've been waiting. I got a lot of stuff, man, to go ahead and get out, right? So he was like, all right, I'll tag you on one of the posts. He tagged me like it was probably like 7:30, 8 in the morning. They was up early on it. Man, I came in there and was killing I don't even know if I could say that, man. I was catching bodies, man. Catching bodies. So much so, Tashia, they started making memes of me, man. Hey, Tashia. They took one of my pictures from when I first came into the truth. I had a garment on. Remember when the garments was that leather material? And my garment was it came off my shoulders a little bit. They didn't put somebody in a dress next to me, like, who did it better? I said, so, do you still wave the chicken over your head, man? Hey, I was killing them yesterday. Anyway, go up to verse 5.
Verse 5, a wise man will hear.
Right, see, because the fool is going to despise wisdom, and he's going to despise that instruction, right? But a wise man, like y'all brothers that's sitting in here, a wise man will hear. When we sit here and we tell you that your oppressor has never changed from yesterday till today, you're going to hear that. Why? Because oppression makes a wise man mad. When we start telling you about the oppression that you're dealing with, that you're going through, then you're going to be like, you know what? This nigga right. I ain't nobody never put it to me that way. Oh, man, yo, what's the number? Where the class is at? Yo, I'm coming down. I'm going to come holler at y'all. A wise man will hear. Read on.
And will increase learning.
Right. You're going to increase your learning. You're going to come in here and you're going to increase your learning. It's important that you increase your learning. Why is it important that you increase your learning? That's the simple answer, right? So you ain't dumb, because there's going to be a lot of dumb people who come at you like it's crazy right now. Everybody's debating the Bible. Like, nobody believes in it right now. Literally, nobody believes in the Bible but y'all. Read on.
And a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels.
Right, and so if you are a man of understanding, right, you get in these scriptures, you know what's going on, like you understand things. You're a man of understanding. When you call that brother and you get some counsel, or you might call a brother specifically to get counsel, or you might be in a counsel, or you might be calling the generals or something like that. And when they give you counsel, if you have understanding, you'll listen to that counsel, because you know that the man that's giving you that wisdom, it's the Lord dealing with that brother, and he's giving you what the Lord is giving him. All right, so a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. Okay. All right. Now y'all can drop that. Hold on 1 second. Give me what I'm about to do, right? Y'all, did y'all see the Southern Poverty Law Center, what they wrote up on the ISUPK? The Southern Poverty Law Center. They wrote up like a piece on the ISUPK. I can't remember. I don't know if this was when we was down in North Carolina, the last Passover, or if it was before then. But I think it was. I think it was then. Hold on 1 second. Give me Proverbs 3:1 before I move farther. Give me Proverbs 3:1. You got it? You got it.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 1. My son, forget not my law.
Do what?
Forget not my law.
Do what?
Forget not my law.
Now, when you read this, right, this right here is a hit piece. You ever heard what a hit piece is? That's when media try to just, write something that's trying to discredit you. What media does is that they'll try to write something to discredit you, so nobody even read or listen to whatever you have to say. That's what this is. This is a hit piece. Read that from the top one more time.
My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments.
Right. So it says, forget not my law. When you read this, what they say is, they say they don't support, they're anti-white, they're anti-LGBT, and something else. Anti-white, anti-LGBT, and misogynistic. Literally, that's what they said. They said we misogynistic. But the Bible says, read it from the top one more time, because if you're pro-LGBT, remember, homosexuality is goes against the Bible, and it goes against the Lord's law. So the Lord is specifically telling us right here. And remember, the Southern Poverty Law Center is ran by little hats, by people who claim to be the Lord's chosen people, right? Wouldn't you want us? Wouldn't you? If you read the Bible and you claim to be the Lord's chosen people, and the Lord is dealing with you, why would you have a problem when we read stuff from out the Bible? Why would you have a problem when we read something that says a man cannot sleep with a man like he sleeps with women? Why would they have a problem with that? I'm going to tell you why they have a problem with that. Because they're not the Lord's chosen people. They are Edomites. Pretending. You got it.
Verse 1. My son.
No, hold on 1 second. Zerabakar.
You want the write up that they had on the Southern Poverty Law Center?
I got it right here. I got it right here.
Oh, okay.
I got it right here. Go ahead.
Verse 1. My son, forget not my law.
Forget what?
Not my law.
Mm-hmm.
But let thine heart keep my commandments.
But let thine heart. Now, when it says let thine heart keep my commandments, what does that mean? Oh, you got it.
But let thine heart.
First, what is your heart?
Your heart is your mind.
Right.
So don't forget.
That's it.
Yeah.
Don't forget, man. Have we forgotten? We've forgotten, but we've been taught to forget. Right. Just the same way we can be taught to remember. We have been taught to forget. Right. So one more time, read it from the top, and then I'm gonna get the brothers. Quatazan, I'm gonna go ahead and get your question next. Tinka Rodriguez, Shalom from Tampa, Florida. We used to get it in Tampa. Had a lot of camps in Tampa. And Paul in the building. Shout out to y'all. You got it.
Verse 1. My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments.
But let thy heart keep my commandments. All right, so for the brother needs a scripture. Shalom, Naira. The brother needs a scripture. And if, like I said, if anybody has any questions on Brotherhood, go ahead and type them in. If you want to chime in, if you want to say whatever, go ahead and type it in. Diddy has no Brotherhood. I'm going to tell you that. These simple Negroes at the top. Like, it was inside of the court documents, it said that he was blackmailing people for higher up people. So now, they're calling Diddy the Black Jeffrey Epstein. Like, God damn, that's not the label you want, because that's what he would do. Jeffrey Epstein was, of course, they was trafficking the little girls, and they would get people to do stuff, and then of course everything was on camera, and now you're trapped. Half of America's blackmailed. I wouldn't put it past the majority of congressional leaders are blackmailed. I have an article here, right? Over 5,000 Congress workers were caught with child pornography. We don't hear none of this stuff we don't hear none of this stuff in the news. We ain't hear a mass influx of people being fired or nothing like that. Why? Because now that they'll put it out a little bit, tell her a little bit, but now I own you. Now you got to vote the way I want you to vote. Now it don't matter how many bombs I drop on the Palestinian people, you gonna still vote my way or whatever. All right. So shout out to everybody that's in here again. Like I said, Philippians 2, and the brother got a question in Philippians. I'm about to get there right now, y'all. Hold on 1 second. And then I'm gonna read this article before I move forward. Y'all brothers and sisters in the chat, y'all know about Korah and the 250 princes of the congregation? Somebody type it in. If you know about Korah and the 250 princes of the congregation, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't, put a 2. Let me get this real quick. You got Philippians? Okay. Give me 1 second. All right. Rod know about it. All right, Paul. Salakia, y'all. Let me get something for the brother real quick. You got it.
Philippians chapter 2, verse 2. It's 2, right?
All right, Philippians chapter 2, verse 2, but we're going to start at 1, all right?
Verse 1.
We're going to get this for the brother.
If there be therefore any consolation in Christ, if any comfort of love, if any fellowship of spirit, if any bowels or mercies. Verse 2.
Okay, hold on. So if there be any comfort in Christ, any comfort of love, right? What's love? Right, law, statutes, and commandments. And any fellowship of the Spirit, if any bowels and mercies, 2, fulfill ye my joy. What's that? That ye be like-minded. That's the joy. That ye be what? Like-minded. What does that mean? What does that mean to be like-minded? Anybody? Right, we walk in the same path. We believe the same things. I know that Zaraba Carr back there doesn't believe in eating pork. I know that I believe in not eating pork. He believes in that too. I know that I believe that the Jews are black. I know he believes that too. I know that I believe that Christ is black. He believes that too. Right? We're like-minded. We believe in helping out our people, teaching our people, and not taking away from our people and doing them dirty. We have to be like-minded. We're like-minded. And some of us don't believe in Christ, and some of us believe in Muhammad. That doesn't make sense. We're not like-minded, right? We're opposite-minded. So be that fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded. Read on.
Having the same love.
Having the same love. What was that love against us? Right. Loving but more, that law, statutes, and commandments translates into what? Brotherhood. Loving your brother, loving the Most High. Remember, all that the law hinges on. Brotherhood and having the same love. So I only love blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. I follow the law to the T when it comes to y'all. Why? Because I have brotherhood. We have to start doing things a different way. I got a 3-step plan to rulership. That's how you gotta do it like that now, Thashiyam. You gotta come out with like little sayings so people can, in today's media society, you gotta be like, all right, y'all, hit the link down below to follow for my 3 steps to rulership or something crazy. A million people are gonna hit the link below so they can find out three easy steps to rule. 2, read 2 for the top.
Fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind.
And of one mind, right? Precept to this, of course, is what's that, Ephesians? Y'all get me right. What's that, Ephesians 4:4? That's young,
Which one, sir?
When it talks about being on one accord, one mind, one body, one spirit. I believe that's in Ephesians the 4th. I don't want to lie to y'all. They be like, see that nigga? Man, you don't got the blue letter Bible? Four and 4. All right, yeah. So what we're using right here, we're using the blue letter Bible. Of course, I'm still using a hard copy as well. But if you need to be able to find something quickly, if you only have a part of the scripture and you're trying to find the rest of the scripture, then you could type in a couple words, and 1,000 scriptures with that will be in there, will pop up, and you just gotta find what you're looking for. All right, so this is actually a good tool to have. Yes, Quatazar. We are commanded to be in one body, one spirit, right? So it is a cut, because if you are in a different group, remember, if everything comes from the ISUPK, if this is the home of the truth, if if this was the beginning, the genesis of everything in 1969, and everybody was here, but then everybody left to go start these other groups, and then now you can see like where other doctrines then crept into these groups and stuff like that, then yeah, this would be a cut, because they're not in the same mind as the body, right? This is the body, and they went to go create a new body. I think we got enough on that. I think the brothers should be solid. Let nothing be done through strife and vainglory. Of course, you just keep going. It's self-explanatory. It's not hard to understand. Southern Poverty Law Center. Let's get this real quick. So I'm gonna get the part where it says, okay. I'm gonna get the disclaimer. This is what I want somebody to read. The disclaimer. This first paragraph. The Southern Poverty Law Center is a horrible. You know how much they get? About $400 million a year. And guess, they get that money off of perpetrating fear. Everybody's going to come and get the little hats. Look at this group right here. Look at this group right here. Look at this group right here. But if y'all ever been on the Southern Poverty Law Center, have y'all seen any little hat groups on there? None. None whatsoever. You said in the chat?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, say. Give him the mic.
In the chat with an actor, he's a Jewish guy, and he was in the hallway, and somebody was recording.
Michael, David, is it Michael Rappaport?
Right.
Michael Rappaport.
That was heavy.
That's heavy.
That's heavy.
You, if you could find the video, put the link in the joint. I'll try to play that, because I did see that the other day. So he was in the hallway like this, right? Michael Rappaport. He's the guy that played Remy. You know, Remy in that one movie with Busta Rhymes and them. They was on the college campus, and the crazy. Remember, the white boy was a skinhead, and he went and he ended up unaliving Omar Epps. Higher Learning. Boom. There we go. Higher Learning. He was Remy in Higher Learning. Yeah, the skinhead. That's the only movie I know him from. What other movie?
Remember when ISUPK answered the door and said something about the crack killer?
Mm-hmm.
He was the postman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, stop playing. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And so when you look at these dudes, right? These dudes try to portray like they pro-black and they cool, and they'll get on these podcasts and, act like you. But when it all comes down to the come down, they are pro-them. That's what it is. They're pro-them. Everybody understands how to be pro-them, right, except us. We pro everybody else. Do you know this Negro was arguing with me about us being the real Jews?
I got you.
To say that converts, I'm showing you that these are Roman converts. These are converts from either the Colonimus family. Some of them converted during the Khazar conversion, and some of them converted during John Hyrcanus's time when Josephus talked about it. But the two main conversions is the Colonimus family and the Khazar conversion. And so when they say, oh man, we got these CR DNA links to the Middle East and all that kind of stuff like that, remember, John Hyrcanus overtook some of the Edomites, and remember, at that time they were called Jews, right, at that time. So you would have a link to those people that was there, of course.
So, like you said, I got a question. And I found that too. I found that.
Yeah.
So what the ones that was put into the land of Samaria?
Yeah.
during the time of
Like,
when
what's that, First and Second Kings, something like that?
Second Kings
Yeah.
17.
Yeah.
Who would they be today?
That don't give me the line. Don't give me the line. Because see, remember, through time, people change names. You know, people migrate, people change names. So I couldn't.
But
I wouldn't be able
they
to.
wouldn't, Sluggy, sir, if I may, they wouldn't be called Jewish, because remember the woman at the well, she was even claiming, you know, the well.
So that's what, because she was a Edomite.
Concept.
She was an Edomite. Now, I'm gonna say let me ask that question. Let me ask that question. I can only speak for sure of what I know. And I for sure know about those 3 conversions.
Concept.
I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly. I don't want to lie. Somebody gonna flame me in the chat. Woo! Somebody gonna flame. See, this nigga said this.
You want me to play that, sir?
Oh, you in it? Oh, yeah. Let's get it. So, like, I'm sideboarding, y'all. I'm gonna show y'all this video.
If I say Israel, you gotta pay me a certain price. If I say Zionist, you pay me a certain price. If I say Zionist, Israel, and Jewish, that's the big 3. I get paid for that. Right. Same as always. Yeah, just keep paying me the same thing. Zionist, Israel, Jewish, you pay me. No problem. If I do what if I do a watermelon emoji and if I say something like fuck Palestine? If I say fuck Palestine on camera, okay, you're gonna give me more. Okay, cool. Don't film me.
Don't film me. Don't film me. That's how the devil always do when the devil get caught. When the devil get caught, don't film me.
Salaki,
I'm
sir.
caught.
You know what's heavy? So other words, when he go on social media, or when he go on the evening news or wherever he be, he gets paid to say that, to bring acknowledgement to their movement or what's going on.
Yeah, so he's part of the whole propaganda.
Right.
The propaganda machine. Right? Say that again?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's part of the whole propaganda machine. Right? If I say Zionist, if I say, you know, you're gonna pay me a certain amount. If I say Jewish, you're gonna pay me a certain amount. If I say Israel, you're gonna pay me a certain amount. If I say all 3, that's the big 3. Ooh-wee, that's the big 3. So he's somebody who has some level of prestige here, right? To where, remember, all the Palestinian voices been drowned out. Israel unalived over more than 100 press Palestinian press workers.
Concept.
I mean, tearing them out the frame.
Right.
Just straight. What they call a sniper round. Boom. Right. Why? Not only has it been over 100 press workers or journalists, it's been all of the main communication stations. Right. Wherever their communication building is at, all of those have been leveled. All of the people who can ever get the message out to what's really happening down in there is unalived, so that only one side of the story can be told.
Concept. Right.
And we see that even with that, they lie so much. Right. I mean, God, the propaganda is so crazy. You know, now come to find out that on October the 7th, Israel was unaliving a lot of their own people.
Oh, Sir Salakia, I saw that
through the Hannibal Directive.
Right, I saw that, sir. Salakia, if I may, sir.
You got it.
I did see that. Mm-hmm. So because they're controlling the narrative, mm-hmm. they're controlling what is being said. You know, I'm not saying this is the case, mm-hmm. but this is like Hitler.
Man, look.
Because they control everything about what we are told and taught and believe mm-hmm. here in America, especially Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, mm-hmm. on what they said happened.
Man, you about to get me shut down. No, I ain't talking about that. You about to get me started.
Right.
You about to get me started. I don't have the same sentiments. Okay, what happened with the Holocaust is horrible. Let me say that. Got it.
Right.
But it also was white on white crime. Whenever things are said about black people, whenever we try to speak up about the things that happen to us, they say, well, black people murdered black people.
Right.
And they say, well, that's pretty much black on black crime. You know, how does that have anything to do with me? And I'm using the same tactic. That has nothing to do with me. But I still don't view Hitler the same way Hitler has been portrayed. Because I understand how Germany was in the 30s. Let me just tell you how Germany was in the 30s. Germany in the 30s was immoral. Germany in the 30s was just like America today. You know how you have the pornography, you have remember they was doing transgenderism. You know, they did like the first transgender surgery over there. It was like real crazy, and it was being done by the minority of the population who owned the majority of the money. If that makes sense.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to talk in, where I don't get a shutdown.
Right.
So the Germans at that time was experiencing sexual immorality, high interest rates. The people who owned all the stores, they doing them, how they was doing them. They was doing them crazy. And the Germans at that time felt like it was a slap in the face because we gave y'all full rights when no other European country would give them full rights or even allow them in the country. Remember, Germany had a high society of like art and all that kind of stuff like that. And so they let these people come in and have full rights. And then they turned and made Germany a degenerate state. When Hitler came into power, do you notice like Hitler in 6 years had the German people all the German people, he galvanized the German people where instead of looking for handouts or anything like that, because the German people didn't think he was a horrible person.
Right.
They loved him.
Right, constantly.
He galvanized them. He got German people to go out into the fields and till the fields on their own. Till the fields on their own to where, and I believe it was like 6 years. In 6 years, he turned Germany around to be like one of the top major players. One of the top major players in the earth. So I view things a little differently because I understand history. But when it comes to that propaganda, if you want to understand a little bit on propaganda, this book right here, I think that's Justice Brandeis. That's Something Wise and Strauss. In this book right here, it's called Against Our Better Judgment. It talks about the propaganda machine. It talks about a lot of that stuff that they use against us. But I'm also going to I have an article to go with yours too. But propaganda is how you win wars. You got to demonize the other side. You got to make the other side seem like they're subhuman. You have to make the other side seem like there's like these people are just the lowest of society. And so whenever you hear of, okay, it's 30,000 people being killed in Gaza, what do they do in the media? Tell them to get Hamas out of there then. Right. Tell Hamas stop hiding behind babies. Tell Hamas to stop doing this and tell Hamas to stop doing that. So, which Hamas is a creation of the state of Israel. Hamas wouldn't be able to be into power unless it was for these people. All right. Because we all understand how we all understand how it go, right? America and these places, they'll fund the guerrillas to take over a government, and then when they don't need you anymore, then now you become the enemy. Right. Now they'll say, they said that on October the 7th, this is what one of the so-called eyewitnesses said, that they were sitting in the bush, and when they looked up, it was like 4 of those Palestinian dudes and they are already was rock hard, and they was raping the lady. I'm like, all of that's going on, and all of this stuff is, and they have time to ravage somebody. Like, what is going on? Like, come on now. Then the second guy, he comes out. He said he wasn't there. He didn't see anything. But then he said that he in Israel, he said that he didn't see anything. In the New York Times, he said that he heard the story from that first lady that I just said, and then he gave her account. So is he really an eyewitness? No, this is the propaganda machine that's being played, right? This is the propaganda machine. You play what you, let me get what I got real quick. I'm gonna show you propaganda.
If I may, sir, while you're looking for that,
Yeah,
just speaking about the media, right? I noticed that the last 5 mass shootings was done by transgenders.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I heard about that too.
And they suppressing it. They not really talking about it.
That's a violent spirit.
Right.
That homosexual spirit is a violent spirit, right? Because how can homosexuality continue to keep going? How do homosexuals make more homosexuals? Because two homosexuals can't have a baby. That's a violent spirit. Anytime you could take and harm the kids, man. Like, so I gotta go with it. Yes, man. It's man. Yeah, it's growing. All right, so this is. I'm gonna go ahead and read this one, right? I think they can see it. Let me see something. Oh, they can't see. All right, I'm gonna read this article, right? I'm gonna show y'all propaganda. This is a report. This is from CNN, and it's from Nixon's top aide. So his aide says Nixon's war on drugs targeted blacks and hippies. I'm looking for the other article. It's another one where it has to do with Ron Ehrlichman's face on it. It got to do with Ron Ehrlichman's face on it. But the guy who's actually exposing what the war on drugs really was is a guy by the name of Ron Ehrlichman. Last name says it all. It says one of Richard's top advisors and key figure in the Watergate scandal said the war on drugs was created as a political tool to fight blacks and hippies. Now, when I'm not sure how old y'all are, but I know I came up during the war on drugs. I came up in the 80s. And if y'all know this slogan, DARE. What was it? Something against resistance. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Y'all know I'm talking about the DARE program? DARE came in there and showed us some drugs and all that kind of stuff. Hey, y'all stay away from this. This is what heroin look like. This is what cocaine look like and all that kind of stuff, right? Not knowing, we all not knowing that they the same ones that put that crack cocaine in the neighborhood. Richard Nixon and Ronald Reagan was the ones that did it. Which one? The Iran-Contra affair was during which one? Nixon or Reagan? It was during Reagan, right? Which one's first? Richard, y'all know. Nixon's first, then Reagan. So Iran-Contra was during, you said Iran-Contra. Marab, watch out. Iran-Contra was during what?
Reagan.
During Reagan. Nixon's first. Okay. So he says the war on drugs. Now at this time before they put this would be before they put this, if this is before the Iran-Contra. So before crack cocaine was heroin. Was the heroin to fight blacks and hippies. Y'all know what was that? In the 60s was like a big hippie movement. Right, Woodstock being one of those major events. according to 22-year-old interview recently published in Harper's Magazine. The Nixon campaign in 1968 and the Nixon White House after that had two enemies. Two. I know black people like to believe you a good old Christian and everybody, America's a good Christian country at heart. You don't have any enemies. But this is speaking to the contrary. It says had two enemies, the anti-war left and black people, because remember the hippie movement was against Vietnam. Remember they would rather just sit in the damn park and get high all day and not have to think about war, not have to go to war. They didn't want to go to war because what? People was going to war. They was watching people go to war and come back with their legs blowed off. Shout out to Desire One, legs blowed off, right? Now, all you could do is ride a skateboard all day, sit there on the skateboard with your nubs and just walk on your hands, right? That's all you could do. That's all they seen. So they was against it. And because they was against the war, America was against them. All right. They had two enemies: the anti-war left and black people. Former Nixon domestic police policy chief John Ehrlichman, I said Ron, it was John Ehrlichman, told Harper's writer Dan Baum for the April cover story. He says, "You understand what I'm saying? We knew we couldn't make it illegal to be either against the war or blacks, but by getting the public to associate the hippies with marijuana and blacks with heroin, and then criminalizing both heavily, we could disrupt those communities. We've always had outside forces trying to break up our communities, trying to break us up. Because they understand what the scriptures say, that we're 10 times stronger if we're together. They understand that brotherhood is a weapon, right? Because their brotherhood is a weapon. But they understand that their brotherhood can't match ours. Their weapons can't match ours if we decide to forgive each other and be like, you know what? My bad, my nigga. 60 years ago, this Crip didn't kill this blood, or this blood didn't kill this Crip, man. We gonna dead that right now. We gonna start this slate clean. We gonna forgive each other. Now what do we do? Hit the link in the bottom description for my 3-step plan to rulership. I'm messing around. We could arrest it says, and then criminalizing both heavily. We could disrupt those communities, Ehrlichman said. We could arrest their leaders. Ain't that what they do? Raid their homes. Are they raiding now? When they raid the homes, are they raiding the homes to snatch the sisters and the kids out of there? Why they raid the homes? And if you take the black man out the house, what does that do? Now you can take over that house because the strong man is binded. It says we could arrest their leaders, raid their homes, break up their meetings, and vilify them. Somebody look up that word vilify for me, please. It says we could vilify them night after night on the evening news. Have you ever wondered why? Whenever you watch the news, right? Whenever you look at the oppressor, he's saving a dog, he's saving a cat, he's saving a person out of a flood. They always got like it's like damn near like the report, like the cameraman sitting right there when he come out the wreckage with the baby. It's like somebody sitting right there. What do you see with you every night? Go ahead. Gun violence. That's all you, man. You turn on. That's all you hear about Philly. That's all you hear about. I mean, it's so much gun violence in Philly that they got it on the Wilmington news. God damn. You can't find something else to put on the news, man, other than talk about Philly's gun violence. It said, we wasn't hold nothing, right?
The definition.
The definition, you got it. Vilify.
Speak or write about in abusively disparaging manner.
Okay, so to speak about or write about in an abusive or disparaging manner. That's what vilify. That's propaganda. That's propaganda right there, because you have this platform, and the whole time that you have this platform, you're just trying to make black people look bad. And guess what? It works. It actually works. You'll see people. You ever hear people talk about something and it just sound like all of their talking points came from CNN, MSNBC. I'm like you're a sheep, like sheeple. Like you're being you know what I mean? Like you don't even know what the hell's going on. I do not watch those news. I don't watch MSNBC unless I see a clip or something viral didn't happen, but I don't watch that. Y'all know I'm on Rumble. I watch news like Redacted. I watch news like the Electronic Intifada. Y'all check that stuff out. Electronic Intifada, and the Gray Zone. I watched the Gray Zone. There's a couple more. I can't remember everything off the top of my head. I just kind of got a brain fart or whatever. But Electronic Intifada, Redacted, and Gray Zone are like my 3 top that I check out. And they usually have like excellent news, right? They usually have excellent news. And also, if you went to documentaries, Electronic Intifada, if you go to their website, they put out a documentary that was produced by the Al Jazeera, and what it was they had a Jewish American that had just graduated college. They had him go and be a part of AIPAC or one of those places like that. He like infiltrated AIPAC, and then they started talking about the Canary something, AIPAC. American Jewish Voices for America, all these like different places. And what they came to find out is these places spy, these are spy organizations that spy on your children, because they're trying to fight the BDS movement. Y'all heard about the BDS movement? Hold on, let me get back. I'm a real quick, y'all. Real quick. So the BDS movement is called Boycott, Divest, and Sanction. So it's a bunch of people who support boycotting Israel. And so they look for products that Israel sells. They do their research, and then they say, hey, this is a product. They got a list of products that they want you to boycott. And so Israel, in their narcissism, for sure you can't boycott me. You can't boycott me for the things that I'm doing. When I watched the DVD, when I watched the video, a lot of the Israelis was like, well, see, these people are doing it, and these people are doing it, and these people are doing the same thing, but y'all don't come at them. Like, no. That still doesn't absolve you from whatever you're doing right now. And so what I've seen in that documentary is our kids aren't safe. Our kids aren't safe on those college campuses. Why? Because we teach our kids to speak up and have a voice and have their own mind. And if you speak up and have a voice in your own mind, then they put out a list to demonize you. They got a list of people who's pro-Palestinian. You think it's all white kids on that list? They had a truck driving around. You know them trucks it had like a little billboard, and you could advertise on the side of the truck. And they had a truck driving around. They had the heads of these colleges rented one of those trucks, and they had the pictures of the students who was supporting Palestine, who was pro-Palestinian on the side of the truck. Do you think they was all white? That's our kids. That's our kids being targeted and attacked. Salaki. Let me go back to this. That's crazy. That was super crazy. I'm sitting there like, and they have amassed so much power that can damn near pretty much do what they want. All right, now we're going back to the article, right? The vilify. It says, Ron Ehrlichman, it says, we could arrest the leaders, raid their homes, break up their meetings, and vilify them night after night on the evening news. Did we know we were lying about the drugs? Of course we did. Of course we did. You know how we know that you was a liar? We deal with it every day. The general just brought out the art. Remember down in Maryland, was that Baltimore, where the cop he had his camera on, and he didn't know it was recorded. And he said, "Yo, I'm gonna go put these drugs over there." He went and hid the drugs, came back. Then he said, "Yo, I'm gonna go look for the drugs." Went over there, went to the same spot. Was like, "Hey, got it." Come to find out, the camera had the whole thing. The camera, he had it on 30 seconds too early. Kwayaswan, 30 seconds too early. If he would have had it on 30 seconds later, that those brothers and whoever they was dealing with would all had 20 years in jail. It says Ehrlichman's comment is the first time the war on drugs has been plainly characterized as a political assault designed to help Nixon win and keep the White House. It was a political assault. Now, they try to make us believe that it's just the KKK is our enemy. They try to make it believe, it's just these white extremists from around the corner or back in the woods or something like that, when it's actually the American government. It's the American government. They right here just said that we had two enemies, blacks and hippies. It's crazy. It says it's a stark departure from Nixon's public explanation for his first piece of legislation in the war on drugs, delivered in Congress in July 1969. When was the UPK started? To fight all these lies, right? Which framed it as a response to an increase in heroin addiction and the rising use of marijuana and hallucinogens by students. Now, heroin. Who knows where heroin comes from? From what? Do we have poppy fields here? No. Poppy fields are mainly in the Middle East. Who got the biggest poppy field? Y'all know them Arabs do. The Arabs got. That's why we was in Afghanistan. Come on, man. Y'all think we was in Afghanistan for anything other than them poppy fields? Come on now. It says, however, Nixon's political focus on white voters, the silent majority, is well known, and Nixon's derision for minorities is in private, is well known from the White House recordings. So he would speak highly of white people, openly speak bad about black people in private. But remember, everything's been recorded, so that stuff came out. It says the comments come as there has been a marked shift in attitudes towards handling drug use, ranging from the legalization of marijuana in various states to White House candidates focusing heavily on the treatment as an answer to the New Hampshire's heroin epidemic. So when it comes to Caucasian drug epidemic, we need some, what was that term? Treatment. You need treatment. When a nigga becomes a drug addict, jail. That's your treatment. And then we wonder why the recidivism rate is high, because you're not actually being rehabilitized. You go in jail, and in a lot of cases, you learn how to do whatever you was doing 10 times better. Right. Or now I got a new skill set because I knew how to steal a car, but when I got with Kwayaswan, he taught me how to pick a lock to a safe. You know, you know what I'm saying? Salakia. I think it was one more part. He died, of course. Ehrlichman died in 1999. One thing that I noticed about these Edomites is when they're about to die, that's when they start having these change of hearts. That's when Jesus might be real. That's when, oh my God, maybe they are the real Jews. That's when I'm sorry. Let me tell the truth about stuff. It says, we never saw or heard anything from our dad, John Ehrlichman. Oh, that's what his family is saying about him. I think I got enough on that. Pretty much, I wanted to show you. We was talking about being vilified and media propaganda, right? And so I'm gonna bring it back to the Southern Poverty Law Center and how the Southern Poverty Law Center wrote up this hit piece. This is a hit piece on the school and Commandant General Yohana. And all a hit piece is to vilify you, right? To get people to not want to listen to you, to get people to not want to read your words, or, you know, just disassociate you themselves with you. So we'll start right here. And I got the 3 parts that I want to get read. I got them an asterisk next to them, if I could. The water. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat, man. Yeah, just say no. Just say no. They telling us to say no while they pumping it in our communities. Go ahead, you got it.
This is the article from the Southern Poverty Law Center. SPLC, I guess that's what stands for, the Southern Poverty Law Center, uses the term racial Hebrew Israelite to differentiate from the greater his Hebrew Israelite faith.
So what they're trying to do is they're already creating boxes. When you understand the enemy, you understand that the enemy is trying to separate you from everybody else, because he understands that. Y'all remember back in the day, this had to be like 5 years ago, when they had that older black dude on there on NBC or one of them, and he was like a black Hebrew, and they was asking him questions, and he was fumbling around, and they was asking him questions about us, like the Hebrew Israelites, and he was like, "Well, we don't do things like that. They have their way of doing things, and they just got this black man up there to separate himself from us." See what I'm saying? Right. Because he wasn't skilled in the tactics of the devil, in the wiles of the devil. He thought they was calling him up there to be nice to him, to say, "Hey, how you doing, man? We want to come to your Israelite congregation." And man, they called this black dude up there and straight used him. Right. I'm sitting there like, damn, nigga, you ain't at some point I would have just shut up. Like, at some point I would have been like, go at the devil. The devil used him against his own brothers and sisters, though. Right? They don't do that to their people. They don't do that to their people. They used him against us, and so that's that's the tactic that they use. So then the whole world says, "Oh, okay, so these Israelites aren't the same as these Israelites. Somehow these dudes are different from these dudes." When there is no difference, we're all Israelites. There may be a little doctrinal difference, but blood-wise, we're Israelites. Go ahead.
Hebrew Israelites should not be confused with black Jews or Jewish individuals of color.
You see what I'm saying? Why? Why shouldn't we be confused with them? Because they support us. The black Hebrew Israelites don't. I was just saying at the beginning of class, I was in the chat arguing with these simple Negroes for 2 days, the last 2 days, talking about Judaism. And when I tell you that the love that they have for those people is crazy, it's crazy. I think it's worse than Christian. I think their love for the little hats is worse than Christians. It's bad. It's bad. Them niggas was talking crazy. I told you they was making memes of me, man. They couldn't beat me, right? I was smacking them up. I was in there, I come through, I start smacking you up. But I'm smacking you up with a book. I'm smacking you up with a scripture, with a picture, and everything, mostly, everything that I have is coming from your sources, from the people that you love. So when I show you this, Kwaya Swan, look, I posted this picture, right? This picture of black people from the walls of Egypt. And it says the mural depicting Israel's bondage in Egypt, and it gives the Exodus 1 and 13 and 14. This goofy Negro said, "Those is Nubians." The guy, that's just a depiction to help you, to give an illustration. I said, even if it's an illustration of who the Israelites are, they're still black, man. Right. Come on through. Even in, you trying to, wiggle your way out of it, or still trying to, you think you cutting me or something like that, you're still not thinking. You're still being stupid. Like you're still being ignorant. And so I'm smashing them up all day, man. You know, the dude just started putting my picture. He like went in there and got like my pictures from like. Y'all, I was in the crib crying. I was in there laughing like a motherfucker. I was in there laughing. I was like, man, y'all goofy. So, do you wave the sin chicken over your head or not? Oh, they can't get around that. They can't get around that, boy. I got some heat. But anyway, you can keep going.
SPLC no longer refers to these groups as solely Black Hebrew Israelites, as there are Latin and indigenous members of these groups.
Right, you just can't say Black Hebrew Israelites because we have indigenous members and Native American Indians. Well, that indigenous members is the Native American Indians, right? Go ahead.
And there are non-radical sets of Hebrew Israelite faith who identify as Black Hebrew Israelites.
It said there's say that one more time.
And there are non-radical sects.
There's non-radical sects
of the Hebrew Israelite faith who identify as Black Hebrew Israelites.
So they're saying Black Hebrew Israelites are radical. Hebrew Israelites are not radical. That's
like the
crazy.
Conquer, right?
Yeah, that's crazy. So they're putting that, and it be working. It be working. Y'all, man, I'll be seeing these simple Negroes, man. These simple Negroes then took over that doctrine of, a lot of them be them Old Testament Israelites. You know, who then listen to some little hat or something, and for the life of them, they can't, get themselves to serve Christ. They can't bring themselves to serve Christ. And I was listening to a debate the other day. I'm like, these niggas, and they like halfway retarded. I'm gonna just say halfway retarded. The brothers is bringing out scriptures that say that he's gonna raise up David's seed after him, and his kingdom his throne is gonna last forever. They're just like, yeah. So they like, so who's gonna be the Messiah that you're waiting for? These Negroes saying David. I'm like, you. I'm like, yeah, I gotta get off of this one right here. They're like, David. They like, but it says right here that David's seed after him is gonna sit on the throne. Because what? David couldn't build the temple. He had too much blood on his hands. These Negroes still keep talking about David. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. You got it.
But this like when the IUIC was like, they niggas or something like that. They say something like that. It's like,
they say a lot of things that are very questionable about Black people. Yeah. Them niggas crazy. I had to get crazy. Yesterday I was like, simple nigga, look, this is what I'm saying. It was like, see, you call me nigga, and I'm like, look, man, I don't need all that. Just answer the question. I don't need all that. Now you butt hurt and all that kind of stuff. Look, man, just answer the question.
Right.
That's it. Answer the question. You got it.
The continued struggle of Black indigenous people of color in America can find clear similarities in narrative of Judaism, particularly the book of Exodus.
You see how they threw that in there. Right, remember people who are journalists go to school for this. So he understands what he's doing. He said that they say that one more time, how he tried to make it seem like what we're doing is similar to Judaism.
So I'm going to read it from the top. The continued struggle of Black indigenous people of color in America can find clear similarities in the narrative of Judaism, particularly the book of Exodus.
Right. He said we could find some similarities in Judaism when this isn't Judaism. Nowhere in this book did they ever say Judaism. That is a word that it was created by the oppressor, by the converts. They have rituals and stuff that they follow, right, which makes it a religion. Case in point, Kaparat. Y'all don't let them get off of that, man. Kaparat, man. Right before the Day of Atonement, man, they be sitting there waving the sin chicken over their head. Why are they waving the sin chicken over their head? Somebody blow my mind. You transfer your sins to the damn chicken, right? And then what do? Kill the chicken. They killed the chicken because it was supposed to be you that died. So now this poor chicken gets unalived. What happens with the chicken after the sin has been transferred to the chicken? They don't even sell it, man. They package that up, and that be in all them Brooklyn markets for free or little to nothing. You get a pack of chicken for $1, man. Damn. Free to little to nothing, man. Niggas be in there. I seen the video. Niggas all up in there, and it's a fucking Salaki for my language, y'all. Salaki, I get a little Salaki. A cart sitting there with chicken, you know what I mean? Like they just package it up real quick, put it all in the cart, man. People, hungry Negro going, oh man. That's what's going on. That's eating food sacrificed to another God, because that ritual has nothing to do with Yahweh. You got it.
Persecution, displacement, and enslavement mirror the BIPOC experience in many ways, both historically and systematically here in America. For most of the Hebrew Israelite community, the similarity is a source of empowerment and not a cause for condemnation.
Right. He said it's a source for empowerment. For some of the people, it's a source for empowerment, but not of condemnation. I condemn anything that goes against the Bible. I condemn anything that tells me that, because that tells me that I don't have the right to exist as a goddamn, I'm an Israelite. So you mean to tell me I don't got the right to exist? The first thing you do if you say that what Israel is doing to the Palestinians is wrong, what are they going to do? So you mean to tell me I don't got a right to exist? You got a right to exist. You living right now. Ain't nobody tell you ain't have a right to exist, but you don't have the right, however, to do what you're doing. You don't have the right, however, to claim my nationality. So then now I don't have a right to exist. So now I just got to be a no people forever. So forever. So forever. Black people in America, black people in the UK, black people in Jamaica, we just all never going to know who the hell we are. We just got to accept the fact that we just Americans now. That's what it's going to go down in the history books. 10 generations from now, that's what we're going to say, we Americans. Come on, man. Nah, nobody else is saying that. Nobody else is saying I'm an American. Everybody else is. I'm the chosen people. I'm, the seed of, I'm, Islamic and all that, because, they think they chosen people. Y'all see, I had me a couple packs of Ramadan noodles. I made a couple packs of chicken Ramadan noodles. That's what I ate yesterday. So like, yo, let me fix my camera. All right. What else you got? Go ahead. Yes, one more. Yeah. So on this page, right? Because for time's sake, I can't read everything. Y'all can read it on your own. Can you show them the front of that? So they know if they want to get it to read the whole article on their own, they can read it on their own. The water, y'all. This is the article. If you want to read it on your own, so that you can read the whole thing, I think that you should. Right? You got to know what the enemy is saying, or else somebody gonna say something to you. You ain't gonna know how to defend yourself. Now they say, what was it? What is the title of the next part you're about to read? In their own words, or in his own words?
In their own words.
In their own words. And so they're going to take the words of. It starts with a quotation. So this is Commander General Yohannes Salaki. Go ahead.
Okay, so it says that's why David Chappelle comments were so important.
Right. So remember they was talking about. Remember the general was like, and he was trying to get loud. Like that's why Dave Chappelle comments was so important.
Right.
I just get the spirit of like, I know how they talk. So I'm like, man, to Esau, they probably was like, oh hell no. Because for somebody to sit there and type up everything you say, they even got the, you know how you be like, yeah, man, and you know what I'm saying, man, and they something, man. They even got all the mans on there. Salakia, they got all the mans on there. Esau, a piece of garbage. You got it.
And that's why Dave Chappelle comments were so important. And let me tell you something. Every black man should feel the attack and understand what is now. Understand?
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with what he just said? Every black man should feel the attack of whatever was going on at that time. I can't remember exactly. Don't give me the start line. But Dave Chappelle, a lot of times he speak out against things. More and a lot of times he's speaking out about the so-called Jews, right? Read on.
Black men are under a spiritual demonic attack.
Black men are under a what?
Black men are under a spiritual demonic attack.
We're under a spiritual attack. Paul even said it. He said the weapons of our warfare is not carnal. We are under attack. But how do we fight back? We fight back with the wits. We fight back with brotherhood. You see what I'm saying? We fight back. I seen another article said, man, the black Hebrew Israelites are savvy on the internet. For like the way he said it was like he couldn't believe how we're able to maneuver the way we maneuver and find the things that we find. That it ain't us. It ain't me as a person that's able to do this. God damn. It's not me as a person that's able to go into these places and find the things that we need to find. Kwayaswan got about 300 books sitting right next to him. Come on, this is just the heat right here. So you know what? That's what I'm gonna write on the front of my. That's what I'm gonna write on the front of my luggage. I'm gonna write heat. They're gonna be like, oh, that's what he keep it in. Esau watching now. Oh, that's what he keep it in. They'll be trying to find my damn luggage. You got it. No. He said so. He said black men are under a spiritual attack, which is correct. Because how are you, if I'm telling you, if I tell you that I serve the Lord and I serve the Lord and you know what, I'm going to follow this, what the Lord said wholeheartedly. I'm not going to waver. I'm not going to go to the left. I'm not going to go to the right. I'm going to go the straight gate. When you tell me, when I read out the book and I'm reading that homosexuality is wrong, so I go out on the street and talk about homosexuality being wrong, you tell me that I'm anti-LGBT? You tell me I'm misogynistic? That's a spiritual attack. That's Satan trying to get you to stop doing what you're doing. Right? Go ahead. And it's demonic, right? Go ahead.
Black men are under a spiritual demonic attack.
So far, what's Commander Johnny Yohana wrong? Go ahead.
And the worst part is being distinguished as a civil rights. Distinguished as civil rights. It is being disguised as equality.
Right. So a lot of the things, the homosexuality, the drugs, the this, the that, is all being disguised under equality, under, okay, you have your way of living, but you can't demonize this person for living that way. What is that going to turn into? That's going to turn into a immoral, like America's already immoral. That's going to turn into something that, a cesspool of sin. Imagine, Kwayaswan, they already, places like NAMBLA, you ever heard of NAMBLA? North American Man Boy Love Association. They're already fighting to lower the age of consent to like 4. 4. I heard this, I was like, Lord have mercy. Please don't do it in my lifetime. Don't do it in my lifetime. Because I can't tell you what I'm going to do if you touch one of these. You know what I mean? But you can read on.
It is being disguised as equality. It is being disguised as everything that supposedly was given to us in the civil rights movement.
It's being disguised, right? Go ahead.
Now has to apply to your sexual orientation.
Now, everything from civil rights is being applied to our sexual orientation. If you notice, they always talk about the black struggle, but then when they talk about the black struggle, they always add something in on it at the same time. They'll talk about the black struggle, but then, gay people this and gay people that, or Alternative lifestyle people, this and that. You know, they always try to usher in other things onto the civil rights argument. Go ahead.
And yet it's really being used to destroy masculine black men.
It's being used to do what?
And yet it's really being used to destroy masculine black men.
It's used to it's used to destroy masculine black men. Because now you got strong men that say, oh man, I don't care as long as you don't bring it my way. You know what I mean? Nigga, say something. Say something. Say, nah, that's, man, what the hell are you doing? Why you got your son in a dress like that, man? You tripping. You bugging. Sis, why the hell you got boxers on? That ass is fat. You see what I'm saying? That ass is, ooh-wee. Yeah, we see it. You see in there trying to act like a dude. Right. Nah, you a girl, and I see that. You see what I'm saying? I see all women. I don't see a man. You got it.
Commanding General Yohana Black Watch main broadcast of the ISUPK, October 18th, 2021.
Oh, that was from 2021. That was 3 years ago. Go ahead.
They do nothing but find new and vindictive and manipulative ways to destroy the Lord's chosen people. Man, I'm talking about the LGBT community, man.
Like, yeah, man. You know, I'm talking about the LGBT, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So everything that Commander General Yohana is saying so far is correct. He haven't said anything that was wrong. But what they're trying to do is, this is a hit piece for you not to go and listen to anything else that he says. Not for you to read anything else that he writes. Right? Go ahead.
I'm talking about homosexuality, man. It's a plague in the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American community.
Ain't it? Ain't homosexuality a plague? Look, I can't turn on my TV without RuPaul coming on. And then my kids watch. I'm like, y'all turn around. God, how many times did that commercial got to come on? How many times a day? Like, come on now. How many times a day? That same commercial got to come on with men with makeup on. What if we don't want to see it? Why doesn't it stay on the channel that they had on Tubi? No, not Tubi, but on the whatever that is, the cloud. Why they don't got their own channel on the cloud somewhere? Why does it have to be on my mainstream television? I literally pay for television that I don't want to watch. I don't want to see none of that. Right. But it's being fed to me. You got it.
Also, kids' TV shows.
Right. And he's correct. The kids' television shows, the cartoons, what was that called? The Proud House, the Loud House, the Loud House. The black boy had two dads. He said, my dad's. That Negro went home. He had a white dad and a black dad. I said, Lord have mercy. This Negro had a white dad and a black dad in cartoon land. That's crazy. You got it.
It is at an all-time high. It is terrible, man.
Leviticus 20 and 13, and it's at an all-time high. We got these young boys switching up and down the street, man. We was up in New York having camp. Man, I was like, woo-wee, golly, man. These boys is getting younger and younger, man, switching up and down the street. They was young bulls, man. Before, man, they wasn't no 20. I'm about to say before 20, they wasn't 20 years old. And they walking up and down the street like little girls. They walking up and down the street like little girls. Why? Because they are products of a war. They're products of a war that was waged on their fathers. Their father ain't there to tell you, nigga, what the hell is you doing? The minute I ever see a kid do it, you might do a move or you might not even know what you're doing. I'll be like, hey, what you doing? Hey, don't ever bend down like that again. Don't cross your leg. Don't do that. Don't do, you know what I mean? Because that's what a father is going to do. You see something that just doesn't look, or you're going to check it. They're victims of the war. Go ahead.
It is terrible, man. I tell you, just broad right in your face. And the sad part is our brothers and sisters don't even understand how destructive the activity they're engaging is. It is.
Right, it is. And that's exactly what I just said. They got it right on the TVs, right in front of your face. Right in front of your face. It's at the jobs. It's at the, My daughter wanted to be a movie star. I had to tell her, you're gonna have to rethink being a movie star. I didn't necessarily at that time tell her what what goes on in Hollywood, but I understand you're gonna have to rethink that, because that's one of the tools that's being used for that war. Go ahead.
They don't understand how destructive their acts and their nasty, disgusting lust are.
Hey, you don't know how what your acts and your filthy, disgusting acts are. It's bad. It's horrible, right? Because most of the time, those filthy, disgusting acts are happening to other children. And, what you're doing is you're destroying kids' lives. How is kids able to be trafficked to the tune of, 100,000, $1 million or something like that a year? And there isn't a bigger outcry to save the kids. You know what I mean? To watch over the kids. Like kids are literally being taken every day. Right? Go ahead. And usually it's by some type of homosexuality. You got it. Go ahead.
He said it is near to genocide.
It is near to what?
It is near to genocide.
Because how can you procreate? If men trying to put their rods in another man's behind, how can you procreate? If a woman is trying to have scissor another woman, how can you procreate? You can't. You'll die out. You can't. They done already got it to the point where half black people, like my grandparents had like 18 kids, 3 sets of twins. By the time I start to get older, you don't really see that anymore. You start to see people like, oh, I'm cool with one. I got my little 2 angels at 2 or something like that. But that ain't what the Lord said. And if we continue with that ideology, then we'll end up dying out. Right? Because for you to say, I only want 1 kid or I only want 2 kids because that's all I can handle. All you're doing is you're speaking the sentiments of Margaret Sanger and other eugenicists who wanted to eliminate the black population back in slavery and all that kind of stuff. And before civil rights, niggas had big families. And it wasn't nothing. You didn't care if you didn't have nothing to eat. Whatever we got today, then we just gonna break it down, and we just all gonna be hungry. We'll all get a taste of whatever this is, and then that's it. Hey, but we still together. We still in this house. 18 of us, and we all love each other. Go ahead.
It is near to genocide.
Mm-hmm.
It is a crafty genocide of a nation.
It is crafty genocide of a nation. Go ahead.
This is Israelites for University of Practical Knowledge member from ISUPK headquarters YouTube class entitled The Crafty Genocide of a Nation, October 13, 2021.
Man, did Commander General Yohannes say anything wrong in that piece? He didn't say anything wrong. So why would the Southern Poverty Law Center write it up as if it's something wrong? As if they can't understand what he's saying. They understand what he's saying. They for sure understand what he's saying. But they don't want us to get to that point where we have that cohesion like them. Because look, they'll tell you, hey, they'll fight for immigration. They'll fight for all the things over here in America that they don't do over there. You go over there, they don't got all them civil liberties like they have over here. You go over there, that border closed. Certain things of that nature. And then that's another thing too. I'm starting to see a bunch of simple Negroes go into these buildings, right, where they have these city council meetings and just go in there and complain to white people. They going in there and they complaining, oh my God, the immigrants is coming into the neighborhood and the immigrants is getting everything that you supposed to give us. Nigga, if they were supposed to give it to you, they would have been give it to you. Why are we, and furthermore, lady, you, or brother, you 60 years old, you still waiting for a handout? You 50, brother. You still waiting for that handout? You still waiting for it. You haven't figured out the play yet. You still waiting for the 40 acres and the mule. You still believe they're gonna give it to you one day. Come on, man. We have to stop that. What we have to do is we have to understand the play. They have plenty of money to give you. They just gave 100 billion, 200, 300, 80 billion, millions to Ukraine and Russia. To Ukraine and Israel. That's money that you could have had. We don't have to fight those wars. Those wars is on the other side of the goddamn earth. Why the hell do we have any dog in those fights? That money could have went to blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians to where you don't have to fight each other. But that's not what they want. And we're none the wiser. Why? Because all of those people I see complaining is Christians. We don't got no more on that. We're not holding anymore.
Unless you want to go get down to the bottom.
Nah, you can hold. Well, is it still Commander Johnny Hunter?
That's just random, like it's random class topics now.
Nah, you good. You can read that scripture right there that you got.
You said 2019, right?
Yeah, because they said we were anti-LGBT. What else they said? We was just anti everybody. First, let's get the anti-LGBT first. Leviticus 20 and 13.
Leviticus chapter 20, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
If a man also lie with mankind, as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination.
Both of them have committed an abomination. What are we talking about here? Isn't America a Christian nation? They call it a Christian nation. They read from the same book we read from. But we don't have the same understandings to where they're willing to compromise the words of this book and we're not. And because we're not willing to compromise, we get demonized, right? We get vilified. Read on. Read that from the top one more time.
If a man also lie with mankind, as he lies with a woman, both have committed an abomination.
Both have committed an abomination. Any more on that?
Yeah.
Read on.
They shall surely be put to death.
They shall do what?
Surely be put to death.
They shall be put to death. Not praised. Not put on a pedestal. Not given more rights than just regular people. Like, God damn, they got so many rights. You barely can't even say anything no more. You can't say nothing no more. Everybody's sensitive. Nobody has a backbone no more, Kwayaswan. Everybody you know what? In my day, right? I had a song to make me tougher. I had a song, I'll sing it. You say something to me, I'll be like, ooh, that stung. You know what? Sticks and stones break my bones, but words would never hurt them. I can strengthen myself right there in that moment. We don't have that nowadays, man. Ain't nobody thick skin no more. Like black people are very emotional. Very emotional. All right, give me one more. Two more, Salaki. Romans 1 and 26. Because not only is it men are, sleeping with men, and that's becoming super crazy right now. Men are dressing up like women. Men are actually cutting A. Johnson off to become women. When I was in school, right? I was in school, and it was a training in my school. He was from New York. And I think it was like halfway through the second semester. I think it was in my second semester. He went and got the thing. He went and got it chopped off. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see the picture or nothing like that, but I could tell the reactions from all the sisters in the classroom because he, showing everybody in the classroom. And they like, okay. Like, I don't know what the hell they seen, but it's like, give me Romans 1 and 26. Yeah, but he got that change. I've never seen that in my lifetime. Back when I was in high school, I went to Wilmington High. Back when I was in high school, it was one gay dude in there. And he used to get beat up all the time. I can remember like it was yesterday. He'd get duffed out. Boo, bow, washed up. Boom. He get washed up. Now it's okay. Now you might get washed up. No, you might get washed up. It might be, you say something, 7 of them sitting on your car hood. Talk about what you said? Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Romans chapter 1, verse 26.
Romans 1:26.
For this cause God gave them up unto vile affections.
God gave them up unto vile affections. Go ahead.
For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature.
The women did what? Change their natural.
Change their natural use unto that which is against nature.
Right. When it says a woman changed her natural use to go against that which is of nature, what does that mean? You got it. I see. Right. That goes against nature. A woman should be sleeping with a male, not be a male. Like I said, we see what you got under them boxers. You can't hide it. You know, and then you be mad. Because I was at my one job, and my boy, right? My boy was like, we were sitting there messing around, playing around and shit, and the stud had walked by. And he was like, yo, man, quit playing. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, quit playing. You know what I mean? Something. So he said something. And you know what she said? She said, man, get out of here, man. You all gay. Yo, I started crying. I was crying. I said, what? She was like, man, you all gay. Like she really believed she was dude. That was crazy. Like, man, get out of here. You all gay. He was like, yo, man, what up, man? You playing around? Like, get out of here. You all gay. Read that again.
For this cause God gave them up unto vile affections. Mm-hmm. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. Verse 27.
No, you can stop that right there. I'm going to read a couple comments before I get out of here. If nobody else has anything in the chat, man, the water for y'all coming through and being a great part of the class and participating. Eric Brewer said, it's game over. They know it's game over when we come together. Coco the Don said, facts. Eric Brewer, of course, said they hijacking our struggle. And that's what's going on, man. The black struggle has been hijacked. And it's been turned into a movement for everything vile and disgusting. Do we have anybody that's warning us? No. Well, to your point, yeah, us. We are warning black people. We are warning you, but we don't have anybody mainstream that's warning black people. Of course, when we do warn black people, you know, we the ones that get vilified. We have everything to lose. We don't have those millions of dollars like the Nick Cannon and those guys like that. You got $20-50 million. You know, why can't you speak out? Nigga, take them $50 million and ride into the sunset. I'll take 100 and ride into the sunset. But no, I got to take, you know, the little bit of money that I got that I need to sustain my family, and I risk it all every week to say what I say, to do what I do. Why? Because this is what we've been commanded to do. And with that being said, shout out to everybody that's in the chat, man. I'll see y'all Thursday. I'm going to turn the class over to precinct officers of Robert Carr. So like it's a little rough back here. We got we don't got the bookshelves up. Yeah, you good.
All right, this is your ISUPK security announcements. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the heads. Tithes, which is the commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Ma'asharah means tenth in Hebrew. It's 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Priest fund. It's a free will offering for the priest. It's not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation is the Passover. It's
April 20th.
April 20th down in Pittsburgh, North Carolina. No, the Passover is going to be in Pittsburgh.
Make sure you get everything, man. Get your garments if you ain't got them. Pay your Passover fee if you haven't paid it.
Yeah.
What else? What else am I missing, man? It's because it's coming up quick. It's coming up quick.
Unleavened bread is that Sunday, the 21st. So make sure before we go down there, you get all the bread out your house.
My nigga.
For that entire week, you can't have any
Don't
bread
forget.
with leavening agents in it. You know what I'm saying?
Don't forget.
Leavened bread. So don't forget that. If you need a ride or something, arrange it now, not the day of or the day before. You know what I'm saying? Give brothers time to be able to adjust to fit you in to bring you down there. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headbands, and scarf. With that being said, men of Israel, Elijah, we're going to give a courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Elijah Shabbat, Elijah, Barak, Yahweh, Yashamatah, Sar. We're going to face the sisters of Elijah. We're going to get the sisters a courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Elijah Shabbat, Elijah, Barak,
Yahweh Shamar, Thamba, Shimi Yawashai.
Yashamatah, class dismissed.
Son of Christ. Yeah, you know,